Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Zan. I'm your crocheting through the chaos lady. I've been asked recently a lot, do you actually crochet or is it just all AI? No, I actually do crochet. I actually have been knowing how to crochet for 50 years. I'm a 67-year-old woman. I've been crocheting for quite some years. My mom taught me when I was 16 years old, and I don't do it often. I just pick it up whenever I feel like it. And what got me back into doing it is I kept seeing everybody posting their projects, and I thought, oh, I haven't crocheted in years. Let me see if I still know how. Well, just like riding a bike, some things you can put them down and pick them right back up and you know how to do them. So I decided I would share some of that skill with someone. And by the way, I do want to give a special thank you. The videos are going viral, most of them. The shorts are going viral, most of them. But it's very important that you subscribe and not just watch and give a like. Please subscribe. That's what helps the channel. I'm doing this channel to help my nonprofit, Operation Love Freeport. We deliver meals to the homeless and to the elderly in our community monthly. We've been doing it for 6 years. Also for my production company, Voices and Views Productions LLC. We have the podcast, Voices and Views with Zan and Chels on Wednesdays and Fridays. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook. Voices and Views podcast with Zan and Chess. So funds go to help. Shall I say, once I get to that point, go to support those two things there. So I decided, what if I can give a little basic crochet lessons? And I think I would do that. Someone asked me if I'm interested in teaching crochet. I have to think about that. That's a lot. That's a lot to teach somebody this because I can do it pretty fast and it's hard for me sometimes to just keep, repeat, and go. So your first free basic crochet, you have to tie your yarn on a hook. Just a little loop, put it through. Make sure it stays on there. This is always gonna stay on there regardless. Sometimes I hold that string just to hold, but it's not necessary. As long as you keep this loop on the hook in this little flat part. Now, speaking of hooks, crochet hooks come in different sizes now. They always have. I mainly use a G or H hook. This is a H. G or H hooks mostly takes care of a lot of patterns call for the G or H. When I learned how to crochet, I was crocheting everything on a G hook. Didn't know there were other hooks. So once you tie your yarn on, anything you do, I'm going to show you the basics as far as the chain stitch and stuff like that. Then I'll do other videos to upgrade. So to make a loop, the yarn comes to the front of the hook. This little hook will slide the yarn under there to keep it from coming off. So you're gonna pull it through, wrap around from the back, and don't make that loop too tight like I did. I have to loosen it up because you wanna come through your first loop, basic loop on the hook, like that. Wrap it around, pull it through the hook. What you're doing, you're making what's called a chain stitch. Wrap it around again, pull it through. Wrap it around and pull it through. You're pulling through that chain, that first chain you have on there. So if your yarn is like this, you come wrapping around from the back, you're pulling it to the front so this yarn can go up under here, and you're just gonna simply pull it through, wrap, pull it through, wrap, pull it through. And the thing I really love about crochet is if you make a mistake when you're crocheting, you just pull it loose. Take your hook out, pull you loose where you made a mistake, stick your hook back in, and you can continue. Now, I hear knitting is a little different. I don't know anything about knitting, never knitted. So I hear knitting, if you make a mistake, it's a little harder because you have to pick the stitches back out. With crochet, it's one single string, pull it, it'll remove your mistake, and then just put your hook back in, continue from there. You always have to have your basic loop on your hook. And this seems easy, but it's really not. So don't feel bad if you're like, I can't get it, I can't get it. It takes a while for you to get comfortable with works for you, might not work for someone else. So your hand position is really your own. You only gonna make sure, like I said, that you're keeping this hook on here. Keeping this hook. You see I have yarn wrapped around my finger. That's to keep it where I can crochet and it can unravel and it's not making it too tight. And when the loops are off, I just wrap more around. But this is a chain stitch. Chain stitch starts a lot of things. Some projects, if you're gonna make a loop, you might have to make a circle and keep going or whatever. So I just want to show you first, this is a chain stitch. Now, we made a chain stitch. I'm going to show you another stitch. It's called a single crochet. If you ever see it in a pattern, it's always marked SC. That just means single chain. Single chain. So, same thing. You always say your yarn. And what you're going to do, you're not going to wrap. You're going in the stitches. So, in the very next one, from your hook, stick your hook in a little bit. Don't stick it all the way through. And just pull that. Oops, let's try that again. Oh, no, I did it. Just didn't have confidence in myself. See, when I said when you make a mistake, you can pull it off and do it again. So, put the yarn in, pull that through, and pull it through both two hooks. Both of them at the same time. Why is that didn't work well? Okay. Yarn around like you did always everywhere else. Stick it in the chain. And I'm pulling that loop through. And then so I'm going to have two loops on my hook now. And I'm going to pull them through. No wrapping around. Stick in the next chain. Pull that loop through. Got two on the hook. You always should have two like that for the single crochet. And pull them through both. Go in the next stitch. Go in this stitch. You're going to do this all the way across. And we're just practicing here, guys. Two on the hook. Pull them through two. Go in the next one. And we're going to do that all the way to the end. So right now, if you didn't know anything about crochet, you learn about making the basic chain stitch. What you'll hear everywhere. It'll tell you to chain so many. That's all it means. It wants you to make that basic stitch. This is the single crochet.